Hello and welcome to The Morning After from Engadget. My name is Matt Smith and each week I'll take you on a tour of the most interesting, biggest tech stories of the last 7 days. This week that includes a barrage of new Kindles, SpaceX snatching a rocket from the air, and, sure, why not, a 4K N64. First things first, we're going to be talking about Amazon and their new Kindles. E-readers and Kindles are an interesting product category because it's not like a phone or a camera or a console where you're getting at least tangible hardware upgrades each year. However, this year, you might be tempted to buy a new one even if you already own one of Amazon's readers. Me personally, I've only ever bought 2 Kindles in my entire life, and that's only because I sat on the first one. Now, the biggest reveal might be the Kindle Colorsoft. It's Amazon's first reader with a color e-display. Amazon tried to ensure that the reader has a good balance between color and black and white, with high contrast and high resolution. Amazon says it's using nitride LEDs, I think that's how you say nitride, that work with the company's algorithms to ensure color and brightness without much of that awful washout. Now, judging by the press images and the early demos we saw earlier this week, these devices seem primed for graphic novels and comics, although don't expect parity with the vivid colors of print comics, at least. Not just yet. But if you are looking for something to digitally house all of your comics and manga, the Kindle Colorsoft will cost you $280 and it will start shipping on October 30th. Analogue is a company probably best known for its premium modern take on the Game Boy, and it says it's now nailed its most complicated project yet. That is rebuilding the Nintendo 64 from scratch. It's calling its console the Analogue 3D, and once again it has an FPGA, that's a field programmable gate array chip. This is coded to be able to emulate the original console on a hardware level. And what that means as a gamer, you can just plug your original copy of GoldenEye into this, and it should work perfectly, whether it's PAL or NTSC. The company is promising support for pretty much every official N64 cartridge ever released across all regions, but it is 2024, so there'll also be some major upgrades. The Analogue 3D will support 4K output as well as variable refresh rate displays. The company even says it's making original display modes to emulate your chonky CRT TV of yesteryear. There will also be a companion wireless controller, but your original controllers will still work. In fact, the 3D will have 4 controller ports. I, however, will be doing my GoldenEye karate chops wirelessly. Thank you. The Analogue 3D will cost $250 and will ship early next year. Right, now on to space, or at least things that are meant to go into space eventually. Now, I know this happened 24 hours after I filed last week's video, but it's just so impressive and I'm still watching it. SpaceX's Super Heavy booster successfully was able to return to the pad after liftoff. What's cool here is it was caught by the launch tower's mechanical arms. Now, this was during the 5th flight of SpaceX's Starship and is a major step for the company's planned reusability goals. Now, Falcon 9 rockets typically land on a drone ship out into the ocean, but the Super Heavy returned to its launch site and had to navigate into a tiny, narrow opening between the launch tower's outstretched chopsticks, like some kind of heavy industrial spacefaring spring roll. But seriously, rewind and watch that bit again. Now, Meta introduced its program to pay creators for posts to Threads back in April. Some are making thousands of dollars a month apparently, but they don't really know why or how. Yeah, I know, I talked about Threads last week, but I am still just intrigued by the Threads vibe, even though my post count on Threads is 5. Now, according to these creators, to get paid, it's a matter of hitting viewing requirements and thread post quantities. Meta's algorithm still aggressively prioritizes posts that are getting a lot of replies, even if they are about a seemingly mundane topic or something you are not interested in whatsoever. Meta recently said, as in I mentioned it last week, that it was trying to fix this, but many creators are still dependent on that seemingly random recommendation algorithm for their posts to get picked up and for them to get paid. And that was your morning after. We'll be back next week and it is our Halloween episode, so I'll be trying to figure out a costume, and if I arrive and I look like I already do, then I am simply dressed up as myself. As if you needed any more indication that in real life I'm not much fun. Thanks once again for watching, and I hope to see you